Cool. Now we're back to part 2 of this walkthrough. I'm going to start by importing my renders from Cinema 4D. The image sequences, I exported them as 16-bit and I have my workspace as 16-bit, so I have more color control. PNG is 16-bit. Let me just adjust the gamma to 0.454, which is how the gamma displaces when you export it from a 3D program in 16-bit. It's you can look it up. It's just a setting that you just have to tweak. It looks pretty good. Cool. So I'm just gonna adjust the exposure again. Get it a little brighter, a little darker. Pump the contrast up a bit, and it looks nice. I like it. I just gotta slow it down. So what I want it to do is speed up, and then near the end it kind of just slows down. So I'm gonna freeze on last frame, just timing a bit. I think I'm going to use time warp, which is an After Effects effect that helps you slow down footage. Using motion 2 shortcut, I get to easy ease that into a stop. The motion 2 toolkit that I'm using is very handy, highly recommend it. You could just easily apply easy ease values to keyframes without right clicking it and going to the drop down, and it just erases several steps. Okay, so anyway, now I'm on time warp. You see, I will keyframe the speed. The default settings are good as is. All you have to do is change the speed keyframes, and I'll say that it slows down right there to 0 or to 25 to a stop. That's pretty good. And it does very well with blending frames, especially when the footage that you have isn't that fast to begin with. Nice. Gonna do a few tweaking, a little bit of tweaking. And it should be nice, and it should be really good. I am animating. Cool. Boom. Looks about right. Cool. So now I'm gonna get rid of that white border that's around the render, just a little bit. I'm gonna use the inner outer key effect and thin the alpha a bit. So there you go. That's better. Cool. That way it doesn't look like there's a stroke effect on my render. I'm just gonna feather it a little bit. Cool, so now I'm importing the logo. I'm gonna put it on top. And it'll be centered right there. I'm still on the fence on whether using the full color logo or just filling it up with white. I'll see how the text shows up. I'm just gonna add an adjustment layer for the splash and add a glow. It'll look nice with the glow. It'll look like light is, yeah, it'll look like soda more. 2 glows, you know, doesn't hurt. Let's adjust the settings a bit. I don't want it to be too overpowering, but I want it to look nice. That's cool. Probably scale it in as it's resolving to the last frame, so it doesn't start off with the logo overlapping, like visibly overlapping the render. So now I'm gonna find their old typeface, their old logo, because it's easy to. It's appropriate for the tutorial I'm doing. It's like a write-on is the effect that I'm gonna have, where I will use 3D stroke to write in the logo. Cool. I will use linear color key to key out the white. So I just have the Pepsi Cola. Just trim that white a bit. Cool. Logo's in there. You see the logo, it's really hard to see it. Maybe add a drop shadow to it. Be a good idea. Two drop shadows? Nah, now it's starting to look funny. I want to add the circle, like the emblem, even if it's just white, but let me see if there's an alternative. I'm just gonna fill it with white. Yeah, white it is. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to start off with now I'm going to go to the render again and animate a drop, like kind of like a droplet that kind of appears out of nowhere, and then it goes up and around and lands in the center and transforms into that liquid ball. First, just make a solid with a circular mask, get it the right size. I'm going to give it a brown ramp, just a good ramp. You can never go wrong with those ramps, you know? Cool. Add keyframes, and I'm going to animate the scale of it. So it starts off small. Cool. So now I have it. Go up around. I'm just going to adjust these values. To start up slow and then kind of like rush in towards the end, so so I could sell the jump cut better. So it transitions to the liquidy ball. It's better if it ends with a sudden stop. Parenting it and then kind of doing that, yeah, just like having fade in sooner while it's moving. Cool. So I duplicated the drop, the circular mask, and I am offsetting them by about a frame each. Just making another copy. Cool. I like that. Just gonna adjust this a bit. So now I want to blend these circles together. So I'm gonna blur them and then tighten up the alpha by using levels. Because when you blur it, it blurs the alpha. So now using levels, I could tighten it up and it kind of blends it together. That could work too if I fade it in. I don't know. Just move the keyframes for the time remap just so it starts a little later. Cool, I think this is good. Just gonna add a couple more copies of the circle. Alright, then I'm good to add the logo. Let me go into this comp, square it up a bit, so space for what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna trace a mask around the main two letters, which is the P and C in Pepsi Cola, and then trace it with the mask. Then using this mask, which is on a solid at the moment, I'm gonna apply 3D stroke. First, I'm gonna add some extra steps in the mask, because the stroke that you're gonna animate on the mask will follow the mask throughout all the way through. So I don't want it to just end at the end of the C. I kind of want it to go on a little bit, but doing a little twirl. I think it'll be nice. So I adjust the taper and the offset and the ends of keyframe the end and offset of the stroke. Try to get the right speed. Cool, so then I'll duplicate the layer and adjust it, so instead of it just being a stroke that offsets, it's I'm going to keyframe the end of the 3D stroke, so it animates the text in. I use that as an alpha. Just gotta clean it up a bit. and I have a clean animation. Cool, so now for the smaller letters, I'm going to use this effect called autofill. Autofill is great. You get to choose, you have the option to either use a noise as a map to fill in the letters, or you get to choose the points, which is you get to choose up to 5 different source points on your graphic where it should start filling. I'm going to use noise because there's more than 5 letters in this thing. Just the settings, and it's great because it fills it up, and there's so much you could do with this plugin to make it look like liquid that you could create a similar effect using a image wipe when you reference a turbulence or a fractal noise, and then just use an image wipe to. It's kind of the same thing when you use the noise as an option, but this plugin comes with presets. I won't show them in this tutorial, but I mean it's really worth taking a look at. Alright, so I think I have what I want. Now if I create a duplicate and fill it with white, so there's there's 2 layers of the fill, one white and one red, and it looks like it animates fine. So I'm going to make one that's blue and then throw it onto the final comp and render it. I think it's good. Cool, so I'm going to speed through this and add some little accents, such as a stroke effect that follows the right on that's not on the text, and just mess with the timing and maybe mess with layering of multiple layers of colors. But yeah, I think this is good so far. I'm going to start rendering, and thank you for watching, and hope you like it, and if you want to see more, let me know, and I will make more.